Hi there. This talk is about us people. Consider it a total collective entity, a big social organism if you like. And more specifically I'm going to talk about concerns raised by many people in recent time especially. There's people saying that we all drift in the wrong direction. We evolve into the future we don't want to find ourselves in. They say there are so many problems with us, ranging from the climate change and to social disruptions, war, pollution, inequality, and so forth and so on. The list of those troubles keeps growing, extending, and some of the issues on this list have been known to us for quite some time, and many of them are critical to our well-being, and yet they say we fail so miserably in addressing those issues. They say we are like a patient who is extremely unwell, with so many diseases requiring an urgent attention. Another interesting perspective on these problems is based on an assumption that all troubles we have are just symptoms of one single disease. In other words, they are all manifestations of a single root cause driving all our problems. And the key idea here is that once we have found and eliminated this cause, we must be able to solve the whole bunch of problems at once. So cool, isn't it? Very tempting and inspiring vision. Let's take it on board and see how much progress we can make by following it through. Our strategy is going to be very simple. First, we have to find features common to all these problems highlighted in red on this slide. And then we are going to take an educated guess, or to make an educated guess, to figure out which one of those features is the biggest troublemaker, which one contributes most to those problems shown on this slide. Let's start with population growth. We know we have reached 8 billion mark in terms of the population numbers recently, so perhaps there are too many of us on this planet, and we don't have enough goods and resources to provide for everybody. We know there are inequalities within and across so many countries. We know also inequalities in rich countries within those countries are driven predominantly by the extreme accumulation of the wealth by the minority groups rather than by the limited supply of the goods and the services which underpin this wealth. And the point I'm trying to advocate here is that inequalities within and across so many countries might be driven by the mismanagement and poor organization of our societies rather than anything else, like the large number of people, for example. Anyway, I do believe the population growth may contribute to our problems, but I doubt it is a major contributor to those problems, at least for now. The next item on this list is an excessive concentration of powers by politicians, businesses, dictators, which was common in the old days, and surprisingly it is quite common nowadays as well. Unlike old days, however, the magnitude of the impacts and the scale of the manipulation available to the present-day rulers is unprecedented in the human history. The information technology, for example, enables them to reach out and manipulate hundreds of millions of citizens. The weapons of mass destruction at their disposal can destroy the whole planet at once. We have reached a qualitatively new level of the powers accumulated in the hands of the present-day rulers. Another statement to make here and to take on board with us without questioning it too much is that power corrupts, especially when it's unchecked for a long time. And this statement has been proven by history so many times. The more power one has, the longer he stays in power, the more corrupt she or he or they become. And I say they because we talk here not only about individuals but also groups of people such as parties, unions, institutions, and so on. And almost by the definition, corrupt governments seek their own benefits at the expense of the environment and society. And the result is the rise in inequality, unhappy people, dystopian ideologies, and social disruptions. We have the whole suite of troubles following downstream here from those two, from the excessive concentration of the power and the corruption. And I think we may have found here the root cause of many of our problems. Let's have a closer look on those two, on the concentration of powers and the corruption. What kind of powers we talk here? First of all, it's a political or administrative power, followed by the military and economical powers. And I believe all other powers are subordinate to those three: the political power, military, and economical power. And of course, excessive power and corruption have been known for a long time. They have been a problem, and people they have been looking for the means to constrain these powers for quite some long time. And one of the strategies they eventually come up is to let other institutions to either control central powers residing at the top of the hierarchy or share powers with them through the federalization and decentralization. Another way to check these powers is for the citizens to exercise their rights during the election time by voting for the right candidate. And all this seems to be fine, except that these strategies may not work as efficiently as it was hoped for, particularly nowadays, when the bureaucracies have become so big and so sophisticated. To find out and plug in all the loopholes they may have, you may need to have another institution established which may be not less sophisticated and even more corrupt. With regard to the election, the information technologies enable manipulations at scale, and the recent progress in artificial intelligence is likely to exacerbate this problem further. And the regular citizens often have neither knowledge nor resources to resist such manipulations. And to emphasize and highlight it again, the major cause for all these problems is an excessive concentration of the power and corruption. No one would care about the outcomes of the election so much if the elected person or a party had much less powers and therefore less opportunities for the corruption compared to what they have at their disposal today. Okay, let's take a break here. In the second half of this talk, I'm going to touch on possible solutions to this problem. Thank you for your time. Bye.